Charles Omenihu. What do you think about that? He's a guy who he's kind of one-dimensional, a pass rusher, but he's 25. Do you think the 49ers should pay him? I'll give you a contract, 2 years, $20 million. Would you pay him that?
No. He deserves it, but not this team. I mean, they're too invested in Eric Armstead. They're going to give a ton of money to Nick Bosa. I don't think they really have the luxury to spend $10 million a year on a third defensive lineman that's not giving him 10 sacks a year. Like, if he's a DN like Yannick Ngakoue, who's giving you 9, 10, 11 sacks a year and cleaning up, finishing the pressure that Armstead's generating, then great. But no, I would say no on Omenihu. I think Drake Jackson kind of has the same profile. He's way younger. He could probably do the Omenihu role for way cheaper for the next few years, and you could spend that money elsewhere, maybe at D end. So good player. Definitely got profile. He's going to get as long as there are no charges. Have there been any? I'd like to hear about that too. If there's charges, then no.
About it, but there hasn't been any new information.
Yeah.
From what I've
seen. So that'll factor in too, frankly. But I think just from a financial, I think that's probably why they drafted Drake Jackson to begin with. They probably saw this coming. Yeah.
I've got to say something. I was wrong about the 2022 defensive line. I said confidently going to the year that they were better than 2019. I was wrong. I was wrong. No.
That was an A plus. That was an A D line. This is like a C plus D line because it's Bosa and whoever's healthy that week. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to me, that is why I think the 49ers should change their philosophy this offseason with their defensive line. Let Charles Omenihu go. Don't pay for 3 players instead of 1. You've got the depth. The 49ers are going to have 8 players at least on that defensive line that can contribute because they have Kalia Davis coming back. They're going to get the minimum deals that they can get, and they'll probably draft some defensive linemen as well. Go get yourself one guy who I think can match alongside Nick Bosa. Ark Armstead, I know you have a differing opinion on Ark Armstead. I think he's
good player. Good player. Definitely a good player. I would say he's overpaid, but good player. You have him. Doesn't even matter anymore. He's locked in. Yeah. So get someone else. He does generate pressure. Get someone to finish the damn play. And you know what? It's not Samson Ebukam. It's not Charles Omenihu often enough. Let them go. They've earned their paydays, but get someone like what you wanted D Ford to be. That's what you're looking for.
What I'll say this. I would go after Daron Payne. I'd go after an interior guy. Hey. I'm not on Kinlaw. You were spot on Kinlaw. I'm not on Kinlaw. And I mean, I've seen the tape on Kinlaw this year. You want a guy in the interior not only to help out Armstead, but because you interchange Bosa on the interior and out on the outside. On the edge, you've got Drake Jackson. You've got a couple of guys. And you also can interchange because the 49ers, something that they do sometimes is they'll line up their 3-tech as an edge rusher, and they'll line up the edge rusher inside as a 3-tech. And so to me, I think you've got to get a guy who can do who doesn't need to take snaps off. You need a two-dimensional player, a guy in the pass rush, and a guy as a run defender. Daron Payne fits that role. Go pay for one player.
I think you gotta improve big time in the trenches because unless you think Philly's just gonna go away and you don't have to worry about them anymore. If you think you gotta go through that team to get to the Super Bowl next year, you gotta massively improve in the trenches because they kicked you. And the Niners are still saying that they didn't actually get a chance to compete. I don't know, man. They whooped your butts in the trenches. So you gotta improve there. You gotta improve there because the rest of your team matches up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, both teams in the Super Bowl have good players in the trenches. Chris Jones might be one of the best football players in general. He might be number 2 behind Nick Bosa.
So
this year.
good.
He is so good.
He's so good. I actually think he's better than Aaron Donald. I mean,
he is.
I think he is. He gives the Niners way more problems than Aaron Donald ever has.
Mm-hmm.
Way bigger.
He's really good.